Christina says our last update here of the grain and livestock trade as we walk through the Wednesday together. Thanks for joining us, and especially we've been inviting and welcoming those of you who are taking advantage from day one of the free preview on Sirius XM, channel 147 included in that free preview, obviously. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you'll keep going and sign those papers and make it a regular part of keeping it in your vehicle. Let's go to Chicago. Todd Horwitz joining us. It's BubbaTrading.com. He has Sirius XM and his favorite station, right?
I listen to it all the time. XM 147. I got to get my fill here.
Very good. Well, we appreciate your time as always. And today, you talked about it earlier. The FOMC meeting, Federal Reserve, are wrapping up here about an hour or so. And you you don't use the word held hostage, but you think that Federal Reserve is playing games with the dollar and thus commodities as well. Am I right?
That is correct. What we're going to see here is we've got the FOMC minutes, which is really going to give us an inclination of what they said last time. And, of course, they are holding the markets hostage. The entire central banking system around the world has become financial engineers. Instead of letting free markets work, they've taken away that free markets. I think that's kind of the action that is carrying away everywhere, Mark. I think you look at the equity markets, you look at the oil, you look at grains. We're seeing some action. I mean, the grains have been very impressive today. I have to tell you that soybeans have really shocked me at how strong they were with the action overnight and into this morning. But we are being held hostage by the Federal Reserve and by central banks because they're manipulating the currency, which then hurts the interest rate, and that's what's really happening here. And we're trying to get a bet on both sides right now for what these minutes are going to say in the next 20 minutes or so.
Not many expecting any kind of a change, but I guess it's the verbiage that might indicate they did say they'd have two increases during the year. We've already had one, so between now and December, we'd have another, it would seem.
Well, originally they said 4, but they're out of their mind. They're really grasping at straws right now because the truth of the matter is they're really lost because they have no idea how to get themselves out of the mess that they created. Because when you create so much debt and so much money, it's hard to figure out a way to get out without having an effect somewhere. And they've laid their hat on watching the stock market and continue to push that higher and letting the rest of the economy slip away. So we'll see what happens. But again, I think they're going to try to indicate that there may be a rate increase in June. And it probably should be, which would not be a great sign right now because that would force the dollar much higher from here.
All right, but you did say, by the way, early on that you were impressed, to use your word, I believe, with what's going on in beans today. Why is that?
You know, I looked at them overnight, and as I told you yesterday, I felt that we should see a little bit of selling. And then I happened to wake up in the middle of the night. I looked at my phone. I go, wow, they're up much higher. What's going on here? And then, of course, by the time I finally got out of bed, they were much lower. And I thought that they would hold on there because I expect them to break. And all of a sudden, here they come running back forth, and they got close to even. I think now, last I looked, they were down about 5 cents. But that's a pretty strong move based on what I think should happen because I still believe that there's a sell-off coming in here. But I certainly hard to fight the action because they're certainly fighting with a lot of strength, including the corn as well. Look at the corn trying to push up to that high over $4. 402 was, I think, the high in July. So you're showing me some good action. Now, I still think there's outside influence here with the dollar and what's going on and what people trying to bet what's going to happen here. But overall, I got to be impressed with the action.
All right, so we're a little bit higher in corn, 1/2 to 3/4, still lower, as you say, 5-6 cents in the bean trade. Let's go to wheat before we take a break in here for those tuning in. Wheat is down a penny, Chicago, July. Kansas City, the nearby July, is down a penny, and Minneapolis currently down just over 2 cents at 5.37. Todd Horwitz back live to talk about the livestock trade. In 1 minute, we move things toward the top of the hour. Back right after this.